Now that we have our reorderable list, let's take a look at some of the ways that we can configure it. The reorderable list itself has several callbacks we can tie into to change things like the header, add warning messages when you try to delete something, and even change what it looks like when it renders each of the items in the list. We're going to add a warning message whenever you try to delete an item, making sure that the person who's doing it really wants to do that action. Let's go and open up the Save Test editor. Inside of our Save Test editor, below on Enable, let's go ahead and create a new private method. It's not going to return anything, so we'll set it to void, and we'll call this method remove callback. Remove callback is going to get a reorderable list instance passed into it. So let's create a reorderable list type, and we'll call this list. Now inside of this method, we're going to create a display dialog that asks us if we really want to remove this item. Here we'll start with a condition, and we'll use the editor utility to display the dialog. We'll pass in a string called warning, and we'll ask, are you sure? Then for our options, we'll pass in yes, and we'll pass in no. Now let's close the method. Now let's close our condition. And now if we get true back from the display dialog, meaning that the person hit yes, we're going to tell the reorderable list that it can actually call the doRemove button. In this case, we're going to talk directly to the reorderable list class. We're going to use default behaviors. We'll call doRemove button, and we'll pass it in a reference to the list. This will act just like we pressed the button on the list itself. Now let's go ahead and connect up the callback. Here, we'll go to our list reference inside of onEnable, and here, we're going to connect the onRemove callback delegate to the remove callback method by simply calling list.onRemoveCallback plus equals remove callback. Now, one thing to pay attention to when we have callbacks like this is that we remove them when we're no longer needed. Let's create a new private method called onDisable. This will get called when the inspector is no longer in focus. Here we're going to test to make sure that our list does not equal null. Then inside of here, we'll simply do the opposite of what we did to add the callback. We'll use a reference to the list, we'll get the onRemove callback delegate, and we'll do minus equals remove callback. This way we ensure that we remove the callbacks and don't continue to add multiple callbacks every time we re-enable this editor. Let's save our code, go back into Unity, and try to delete an item and see what happens. Let's select the new sprite, select item 2, and hit remove. And now you should see a warning. If you hit no, it will ignore it. If you hit yes, the item should be deleted. And if we go to load, we can now go back in and reload all the data as if nothing had happened.